Whew, what's up, guys? I don't remember when my last video entry was, but updates. The Wrangler ran. I started that engine. It it felt good hearing that engine run for the first time since early July, I think. Um, that that rattling in the torque in the bell housing, gone. Whether it was them loose bolts or whether it was the torque converter, who's to say? It's gone. The Wrangler is good to go, except, well, I guess technically it's not good to go. There was one small issue. One of the transmission cooler lines, the lower one on the driver's side of the transmission, was leaking right from the seal. Just leaking oil, just one drop every 2 seconds. It's always something. That's something I'm gonna try and address tomorrow. I've been looking into the issue, seeing how to fix it and everything. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with the line itself. It's just the fitting on that screws into the transmission. You get a new like. When I got this Jeep, it came with a lot of extras. What's cool is it actually came with another cooler hose assembly for the transmission. But the hose doesn't have the bits, it doesn't have the nuts on it. Well, it actually screws into the transmission or the radiator. So there's no point in putting in that hose, because that's not where the hose is not the issue. It's just where it screws in and the seal. So I'm gonna go down to AutoZone tomorrow, because apparently they have replacements down there. I'll see if I can get a couple and just look into how to put them on the hose. But regardless, yeah, that's tomorrow's issue. Right now, I'm working on mounting up the GMRS. Okay. This is a mount for the CB that I was running. And this is I fabricated a mount for the CB antenna. Let me see, where is it? Spring for the antenna. I was running a Fire Stick. Oh yeah, it's right in front of me the whole damn time. Okay, so yeah, the spring right there goes into the top, and the Fire Stick above that. That's where the cable plugs in, and yeah, the bracket would seat in about right there. I need to get another plastic piece like this to. You don't want full metal on metal. You want some plastic in between the bracket and the antenna. You want it isolated. But anyway, yeah, okay. So, CB mount, GMRS mount. Now, I don't know what they were thinking. These are some tiny holes. I went to Harbor Freight, and yeah, their smallest bolts would not fit through there. Wait, I say Harbor Freight. I meant Ace Hardware. They had some screws that would fit through. There's some very tiny screws, and I was like, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill these three out to about that size. And as you can probably tell, the GMRS sits a bit lower in its bracket than the CB sits in its bracket. So I'm going to have to make a spacer out of another piece of aluminum like this. See, what I did was the center, the trim around the stereo in the Jeep, the part that's got the storage tray on top, I took this piece and I put it underneath the tray, and I put this piece on top in the tray. I drilled the holes through the tray, and put put the bracket on top of that. And basically this was to, these two pieces clamped on the top and bottom of the tray, which was basically just to reinforce it. Because, I mean, if you try and put nuts and bolts on just regular plastic, I'm sure the vibration with the weight of the CB would eventually tear apart the plastic. So since the GMRS will be sitting a little bit lower in the tray, I think that the edges of the tray would be keeping it from sitting completely down on the aluminum sheet. I'll be making another one of these, another thick one, and putting it on top of the existing one just to get it up a little bit higher. And then I just got to run my CB cable back through. I pulled it out because I didn't think I'd be able to reuse it. Turns out I can. Ain't that awesome? The only thing that's going to be a little interesting is that the GMRS has a cable that connects directly to the battery, and I got to run it through the firewall. So gonna have to route it, gonna have to zip tie it. I hate wiring. And of course I'm probably gonna have to make use of more of this, because all the existing covering on the wires in the engine bay, the wire conduit is all old and brittle and falling apart at just the slightest touch, leaving the wires exposed. So I probably should go in and replace it all, but it's so much. It is so much, and it's right way at the back at the firewall on this lifted Jeep with big ass tires. So it's gonna be a struggle to get to it all. But anyway, so yeah, I'll feed it around over the top of the firewall, zip tie the cable to some other wires, and then run it to the battery. Pretty straightforward. But yeah, I'll post another update later on. Anyway. Alright guys, I mentioned that now that the Jeep is running, the one issue that I'm dealing with right now is one of the seals for the transmission cooler lines. I'll show you exactly what I mean right now. Okay. Dang it. Look at me embarrassing myself. And I got the old CB over there. And all this stuff for the GMRS. But anyway, let's get her going. Burn brake on, e-brake on, yeah. That's what I'll be addressing. Alright. It was a little difficult, mainly because, you can't put a socket on one of those. Of course, I'm also dumb, and I think I could have if I would have left this thing in the new one. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was for. I could have left this in the new connector and put a socket on it, and it would have kept all the transmission fluid from leaking out. Anyway, yeah. So I got the new connector in. I ended up getting some of these Duralast disconnectors, hoping these would do the trick. Well, it didn't. Not for that kind of connector. I was hoping I could use these to get in there and release that clip. But yeah, no. I guess these are just for the plastic connectors on like fuel lines and such. I was hoping they would work. So what I ended up doing, I ended up using this terrifying looking thing. It's a probe of some kind. Man, you could... It's a weapon, no doubt. Just... Anyway. I ended up getting this very fine tip right up into underneath the edge of the clip on the old one. Just pushed and pulled until that clip got hung up, and I just pulled it the rest of the way by hand. But anyway, yeah, the new one snapped on just fine. So I'm gonna put this away before I stab myself. There we go. The old one was here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, yeah, kind of old. This is a 15/16, by the way. Yeah, you can see where the old clip was, that gap right there. So, it's out, the new one's in, and connected. Let's... If you're watching this, cross your fingers. Crossing your fingers counts if it happens later, right? Quantum entanglement or something. Alright, here we go. I don't see any fluid, y'all. Of course, that could also be because a good bit of it spilled out on the ground. So, I am going to, I'm going to put a cord in it. And, yeah, let's see if it's, well, you know, it was low on transmission fluid to begin with when we first started it, and it still leaks. I think we're golden. So now I just got to put the GMRS in, and we're going to have ourselves a test drive.